Welcome to Daily Stoic Practice. In the fast-paced, ever-demanding world we live in today, it's easy to get swept away by the chaos. We rush from task to task, filling every minute with activity, convinced that this relentless drive is the only way to keep up with life. But have you ever paused to ask yourself, what are we really chasing, and at what cost? The Stoics, those ancient philosophers known for their timeless wisdom, teach us something profound: the power of stillness. It is in stillness that we reconnect with ourselves, with the present moment, and with what truly matters. The world moves at an incredible pace, but life itself, real life, unfolds quietly, in the spaces between the noise, in the moments when we slow down, breathe, and reflect. Reflection isn't a passive act, nor is stillness a retreat. In fact, it is through these practices that we gain clarity, perspective, and strength. By stepping back and observing our thoughts, we start to understand ourselves better. We begin to see what drives us, what distracts us, and most importantly, what nourishes our souls. As you watch this video today, I invite you to take a step back from the constant hum of life. Let this be a moment of stillness for you, a rare opportunity to pause and truly be present. We often get caught up in the pursuit of more success, more achievement, more things to do. But the truth is, life isn't about how much we do. It's about how deeply we experience each moment. The Stoics understood this well. They knew that life is fleeting, that our time is limited, and that to live with intention, we must cultivate a practice of stillness and reflection. These moments of quiet contemplation allow us to appreciate the beauty and the brevity of life. They help us make wiser decisions, focus on what truly matters, and approach life's challenges with a calm, steady mind. The older we get, the more we come to realize that it's not the material things or fleeting achievements that bring us lasting joy. It's the simple moments of connection, health, and love. These are the true riches of life. Yet in the rush of daily living, we often overlook them, assuming they'll always be there. But life is fragile, and every moment is a gift. In this video, we'll explore 18 timeless lessons that carry wisdom beyond their words, lessons that invite us to reflect on the deeper meaning of life. These stories are more than just ideas. They are tools that can help you navigate life's challenges with a greater sense of peace and understanding. Whether it's the fleeting nature of time, the value of rest, or the importance of being fully present, each lesson offers a path toward a more meaningful, fulfilled life. But before we dive into these teachings, take a moment to ground yourself. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and feel the weight of the present moment. Recognize how fortunate you are to be here right now, to have the time, the health, and the ability to reflect on these ideas. The world will always be loud and full of distractions, but right here, right now, you have the opportunity to embrace stillness, to quiet the noise and tune into your own inner voice. As you listen to the lessons in this video, let them wash over you. Let them sink in. And remember that you don't have to wait for tomorrow to start living with intention. That begins now. This is your moment of reflection, your time to pause and breathe deeply, because the greatest wisdom of all may lie not in action, but in stillness. And it is in this stillness that the Stoics found their strength, the strength to live with clarity, purpose, and peace. So as we begin, allow yourself to fully experience this moment. Let these words resonate within you. Life is happening now, and you are fortunate to be a part of it. Part 1. The fleeting nature of time. Time, our most precious resource, yet one that we often take for granted. It is something we cannot see, touch, or control. Time flows silently, moving forward without pause, no matter how desperately we may want to hold on to certain moments. The Stoics understood this truth deeply, often reminding us that life is fleeting, that each moment we live is one less we have left. We often hear the phrase, "The days are long, but the years are short." At first, it might seem contradictory, but once you stop to reflect, its meaning becomes clear. In our youth, life seems to stretch out before us endlessly, and time feels abundant. We dream, we plan, and we think we have all the time in the world. But before we know it, we look back and wonder where it all went. The days we once took for granted are now distant memories, and suddenly, time feels like it's slipping away faster than we can grasp. The Stoic principle of memento mori, remember that you will die, isn't a call to despair, but rather a reminder to live fully. By acknowledging the brevity of life, we are given a gift, the chance to make every moment count. It's not about fearing death or being morbid. It's about understanding that our time is finite and that we must live with purpose, intention, and presence. When we truly understand the fleeting nature of time, we begin to appreciate the present moment in a profound way. How often do we find ourselves waiting for some future event to bring us happiness? We tell ourselves, I'll be happy when I get that promotion, or life will be perfect once I achieve this or that. But the Stoics knew that waiting for a perfect future is a trap. Life isn't something that begins when we reach a particular milestone. Life is happening right now. Think about how differently you would live if you knew your time was limited, because it is. Would you spend your days chasing after fleeting pleasures or stressing over things beyond your control? Would you allow small inconveniences to ruin your mood? Or would you cherish the present and make the most of it? Time is the one thing that once spent, we can never get back. Money can be earned again, mistakes can be corrected, but lost time is gone forever. The Stoics encourage us to reflect on this often, not to instill fear, but to awaken us to the beauty and importance of the moment we are living in. They remind us to focus on what truly matters: our relationships, our inner peace, our ability to love, and our pursuit of wisdom. In our busy modern lives, it is easy to forget this. We get caught up in the rush, constantly looking ahead, making plans, and checking off to-do lists. But in doing so, we miss the small, precious moments that make life truly meaningful. The laughter of a friend, the warmth of the sun, the stillness of a quiet morning. All these moments are fleeting, and if we don't stop to appreciate them, they will slip away unnoticed. This is why the Stoics teach us to focus on the present, to ground ourselves in the here and now. When we understand that time is limited, we no longer postpone our happiness, nor do we let trivial matters weigh us down. Instead, we embrace the present with gratitude, knowing that this moment, right now, is life itself. The illusion that we have endless time is a comforting lie, but it keeps us from living fully. By confronting the truth of life's impermanence, we are freed from this illusion. We begin to realize that our time is our most valuable asset, and with that realization comes the responsibility to use it wisely. So, how will you spend your time? Will you allow it to slip through your fingers as you chase after things that don't really matter? Or will you slow down, take a deep breath, and savor the gift of each moment? The choice is yours. The Stoics would tell us that the only time we have is now. This very second is the only guarantee we have, and it is within this moment that we must live our lives with purpose, clarity, and love. Time reminds us of what is most important. It strips away the distractions and reveals what truly matters. Let us not waste it. Let us live intentionally, fully aware that every day is an opportunity, a chance to live with wisdom, to love deeply, and to appreciate the simple beauty of existence. Because once it's gone, time is something we can never get back. Part 2. Rest as a form of respect for life. In our fast-paced world, being busy has become a badge of honor. We often hear phrases like hustle culture or grind harder, pushing us to constantly strive for more, do more, and achieve more. But at what cost? The Stoics remind us that life is not about constant action, but about balance. Rest, in its truest form, is not laziness or idleness. It is a profound act of self-respect and wisdom. Think about it. Our bodies and minds are not machines. They need time to recharge, to heal, and to rejuvenate. When we ignore this fundamental need for rest, we are not only neglecting our well-being, but disrespecting the gift of life itself. The Stoics taught that life is a balance of action and reflection, work and rest. Pushing ourselves beyond our limits isn't a sign of strength. It's a sign of disregard for our own humanity. Imagine a bowstring pulled taut for too long. Eventually it snaps. In the same way, if we are constantly pushing ourselves without giving our minds and bodies the rest they need, we too will break. Whether it's burnout, illness, or simply feeling lost, the consequences of neglecting rest are inevitable. The truth is, when we rest, we are not only honoring our bodies, but also giving ourselves the space to think clearly, to be creative, and to handle life's challenges with resilience. A well-rested mind is sharper, more present, and better able to make thoughtful decisions. A rested body is stronger and more capable of withstanding stress. In many ways, rest allows us to be fully present in the moments that matter most. When we are overworked and exhausted, we rush through life in a haze, often missing the beauty of the small, quiet moments, the laughter of loved ones, the serenity of a quiet morning, or the simple pleasure of a meal shared with others. Rest grants us the clarity to appreciate these moments and the strength to engage with life more deeply. The Stoics believe that balance is the key to a fulfilling life. Just as we must work hard, we must also take time to rest. This balance brings a sense of harmony, a sense of peace that allows us to navigate the storms of life without being overwhelmed. In rest, we find renewal, and in renewal, we find the energy to continue moving forward with purpose and grace. To rest is to acknowledge that we are human with limits and needs. It is an act of humility, of recognizing that we are not invincible. By taking time to rest, we give ourselves the space to reconnect with who we are, to recalibrate, and to return to the world with a clearer sense of focus and intention. So the next time you find yourself overwhelmed, remember this: rest is not a waste of time. It is a vital part of life. It is how we honor the life we have been given and how we ensure that we can continue to give to the world without depleting ourselves. The Stoics knew that rest is not the opposite of productivity. It is the fuel that allows us to be our best selves. When you rest, you are not taking a break from life, you are embracing life. You are respecting your limits, valuing your health, and preparing yourself to engage more fully with the world around you. By resting, you are not only caring for yourself, but also making sure you can show up for the people and the things that truly matter to you. In the end, rest is about more than just sleep or relaxation. It is about finding a rhythm in life that allows you to be present, engaged, and resilient. It is a way of ensuring that you are living, not just existing. Rest, in its purest form, is a way of saying, I value my life and I honor the time I have. Part 3. Youth is a state of mind. As time goes on, our bodies may age, but our spirit doesn't have to. The Stoics believe that true youth is not measured by the number of years we have lived, but by the state of our mind and heart. This idea carries profound implications, especially in a society where aging is often viewed with dread. Think about it. Have you ever met someone whose age didn't seem to align with their energy and outlook? Some people, though advanced in years, carry an undeniable vibrancy, a curiosity about life that shines through every word and action. They are in many ways still young. Others, even in their youth, may carry a heaviness in their hearts, a weariness that makes them appear far older than they are. The Stoics teach us that this difference comes down to how we view life. Age is inevitable, but our approach to it is a choice. If we allow our minds to remain open, our hearts full of wonder, and our attitudes rooted in gratitude, we stay young, regardless of what the calendar says. We remain connected to the beauty and joy of living, rather than succumbing to cynicism or despair. It's important to understand that being youthful doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties of life. Quite the opposite. It's about embracing life's challenges with resilience and hope. Those who maintain a youthful mindset are those who refuse to let hardships harden them. Instead, they look for lessons, for growth, and for opportunities to love and laugh even in the midst of adversity. Youth is not about avoiding the inevitable changes that come with time. It's about embracing those changes with a flexible, adaptive spirit. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." So how do we stay young in thought and spirit? By cultivating joy in the present moment, by remaining curious, and by practicing gratitude. Instead of mourning the passing of youth, the Stoics encourage us to find beauty in every stage of life. With each year comes new wisdom, new opportunities to learn, in new ways to experience the world. In this way, our spirit remains forever youthful because it is continuously growing, continuously open to what life has to offer. So, the question is, how do we cultivate this spirit of youth? The key lies in how we respond to life's inevitable changes. Do we cling to the past, or do we move forward with grace? Youth is not an external measure, it's internal. It's a mindset we choose every day. By choosing to stay open, joyful, and present, we keep the light of youth alive within us. Part 4. The Story of the Pears. Focus on what matters now. There's a simple story that encapsulates a powerful truth about life. Imagine a man who buys a basket of pears. Each day, he carefully picks out the pears that are starting to spoil, thinking he's saving the best ones for later. But as the days go by, the once fresh pears begin to rot as well, and in the end, the man is left with nothing but spoiled fruit. How often do we live like this? We push the best moments of life into the future, always waiting for a better time to enjoy them. We tell ourselves that once we've dealt with our struggles, or once things are just right, we'll finally take time to appreciate life. But the future is uncertain, and in waiting for the perfect moment, we often miss the joy of the present. The Stoics remind us to focus on what matters right now. The story of the pears teaches a critical lesson. Don't wait to enjoy life. Don't hold off on happiness, thinking that a better time will come. That time may never arrive. What you have right now is the present, and this present moment is your life. We often get caught up in the idea that happiness or fulfillment is something we achieve after all the hard work is done, after we've dealt with all the problems. But life doesn't work that way. There will always be new challenges, new difficulties. If we're always waiting for life to be perfect, we'll end up like the man with the pears, left with nothing but spoiled opportunities. Instead, we must learn to appreciate the good in the here and now. Even amid difficulties, there are moments of beauty, moments of connection, moments of joy. These are the good pears in our lives. If we don't savor them, they'll spoil, just like the fruit in the story. The Stoics encourage us to live in the present because this is the only moment we truly have. The future is not guaranteed, and the past is already gone. The only time we can act, the only time we can choose joy, is right now. It's in the present that we build the life we want, that we experience the fullness of existence. So ask yourself, what are the good pears in your life right now? Are you savoring them, or are you letting them spoil while you wait for a better time? By focusing on what matters in the present, you can live with a deeper sense of purpose, gratitude, and joy. Don't wait for life to be perfect. Embrace its imperfections and find happiness in the moment you're living right now. Part 5. Living a life of enough. In a world that constantly demands more success, more possessions, more recognition, it can feel like we're trapped in an endless race. But have you ever stopped to wonder, what are we really chasing? How much is truly enough? At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies a simple yet profound truth: contentment. The Stoics understood that life isn't about accumulating as much as possible, but about recognizing that we already have enough. Imagine standing on a mountaintop, looking out at the vastness of the world below. The wind is gentle, the sky is clear, and you feel a deep sense of peace. You are not wanting for anything. You are simply being. And in that moment, you have enough. This concept of enough is often at odds with the world we live in. Society tells us that we need to keep striving, to keep accumulating, that our worth is tied to how much we have or how much we achieve. But the Stoics offer us a different path, one that invites us to find satisfaction not in what we lack, but in what we already possess. Living a life of enough doesn't mean giving up on ambition or abandoning our goals. It's not about settling for mediocrity. Instead, it's about finding balance, the ability to appreciate what we have while still striving to grow, but without becoming enslaved to the never-ending pursuit of more. When we embrace this mindset, we free ourselves from the constant comparison to others, from the stress of trying to keep up, and from the pressure to always do more. Think about it. How often do we find ourselves yearning for the next big thing? Whether it's a promotion, a new car, a bigger house, or even a vacation? We tell ourselves, once I get this, then I'll be happy. But the truth is, happiness isn't found in material things or external achievements. As soon as we reach one goal, another one appears, and the cycle continues. The Stoics teach us that true happiness comes not from wanting more, but from appreciating what we have right now. To live with the mindset of enough is to embrace contentment. It's understanding that joy doesn't come from the accumulation of wealth or the attainment of status. It comes from within, from the peace of knowing that we are complete, that we are enough as we are, and that we don't need anything outside of ourselves to feel fulfilled. Imagine the freedom that comes with this mindset. No longer bound by the expectations of society or the pressure to constantly strive, we can focus on what really matters, our relationships, our health, and our inner well-being. We can enjoy the present moment fully without worrying about what we don't have or what we still need to achieve. But how do we cultivate this sense of enough? How do we shift our mindset in a world that constantly tells us we need more? The Stoics offer us a path. First, they encourage us to practice gratitude, to take time each day to reflect on what we already have rather than what we lack. When we focus on what we're grateful for, we train our minds to see abundance instead of scarcity. We begin to realize that we are already wealthy, not in terms of money or possessions, but in terms of experiences, relationships, and moments of joy. Gratitude is a powerful tool for cultivating contentment. It shifts our focus from what's missing to what's present, from what we want to what we already have, and in doing so, it helps us find peace in the present moment. Next, the Stoics remind us to embrace simplicity. In a world filled with distractions and temptations, it's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of more possessions, more activities, more commitments. But often, it's in the simplicity of life that we find the most joy. When we strip away the unnecessary, we create space for what truly matters. Living simply doesn't mean depriving ourselves or living a life of austerity. It means making conscious choices about how we spend our time, our energy, and our resources. It's about focusing on quality over quantity, on experiences over things, and on presence over productivity. The Stoics also teach us the importance of self-discipline. In a world that constantly tempts us with instant gratification, self-discipline is the key to living a life of enough. It's about saying no to the things that don't serve us, even when they're tempting. It's about choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term pleasure. And it's about cultivating the inner strength to resist the urge to constantly consume and instead focus on what brings us true satisfaction. Self-discipline is not about restriction or deprivation. It's about empowerment. It's about taking control of our lives and making choices that align with our values and our vision for a meaningful life. Finally, the Stoics remind us that comparison is the thief of joy. In today's world, it's easier than ever to compare ourselves to others. We scroll through social media and see the highlights of other people's lives, their successes, their vacations, their perfect families, and we feel like we're not enough. But the truth is, we're only seeing a small slice of their reality. We're not seeing their struggles, their insecurities, or their challenges. The Stoics teach us to focus on our own journey, to stop comparing ourselves to others, and to find contentment in our own lives. When we stop looking outward for validation, we begin to realize that we are enough, just as we are. Living a life of enough is about shifting our focus from external achievements to inner fulfillment. It's about recognizing that we don't need more to be happy, we just need to appreciate what we have. It's about finding balance, practicing gratitude, embracing simplicity, cultivating self-discipline, and letting go of comparison. So as you reflect on your own life, ask yourself, what does enough look like for me? Is it a certain amount of money, a certain level of success, or is it something deeper, a sense of peace, a feeling of contentment, a life filled with moments of joy and connection? When we live with the mindset of enough, we free ourselves from the constant pressure to do more, be more, and have more. We begin to see that life is not about accumulation, but about appreciation. And in that appreciation, we find true happiness. As we conclude this reflection, take a moment to pause and breathe. Consider what you already have in your life that brings you joy. What are you grateful for? What brings you peace? And how can you cultivate a greater sense of enough in your daily life? The Stoics remind us that we are already complete, that we have enough, and that we are enough. When we live with this understanding, we create a life that is rich not in material possessions, but in meaning, joy, and peace. Part 6. The 4 pillars of a wise life: strength, calm, adaptability, and patience. As we journey through life, with all its complexities, uncertainties, and challenges, there are certain timeless virtues that serve as our guiding lights, principles that help us navigate the tumultuous waters with grace and wisdom. In Stoicism, 4 virtues stand out as essential pillars to living a wise and fulfilling life: strength, calm, adaptability, and patience. These 4 pillars are not just abstract ideals, but practical tools that we can cultivate to build a more resilient and peaceful life. They are like the foundation of a well-built home, solid, reliable, and capable of withstanding the storms of life. And today we'll dive deeper into each of these virtues, exploring how they can empower us to lead a life of purpose and inner peace. Strength, the power of inner resilience. When we hear the word strength, many of us think of physical power or endurance. But in the Stoic sense, strength is not just about how much weight we can lift or how far we can push ourselves physically. Instead, it refers to inner resilience, the mental and emotional fortitude to face life's difficulties without being overwhelmed. Strength, according to the Stoics, is the ability to remain centered and grounded, even when the world around us seems to be falling apart. It is the courage to confront adversity head-on, without losing sight of who we are or what we stand for. Life will inevitably throw obstacles our way, whether it's personal loss, failure, or unexpected challenges, but true strength comes from within. It's about our ability to weather these storms with dignity and grace. Imagine a tree in a fierce storm. The wind blows, the rain pounds down, and the branches sway wildly, yet the tree remains rooted, firm, and unshaken at its core. This is the essence of strength, having a solid foundation that allows us to bend without breaking. But how do we cultivate this inner strength? It begins with recognizing that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond. By focusing on what is within our control, our thoughts, our actions, and our attitudes, we build resilience. We develop the capacity to endure hardship, to bounce back from setbacks, and to keep moving forward, even when the path is difficult. Strength is also about self-mastery, the ability to manage our emotions, impulses, and desires. The Stoics believe that strength comes from learning to govern our internal world, rather than being swept away by external circumstances. This means practicing discipline, staying true to our principles, and not allowing fleeting emotions to dictate our actions. In the end, strength is not about being invulnerable or immune to pain. It's about being able to stand firm in the face of adversity, knowing that we have the inner resources to overcome whatever challenges come our way. Calm, the art of inner peace. If strength is about resilience, then calm is about tranquility. In a world that often feels chaotic and overwhelming, cultivating a sense of inner calm is essential for maintaining balance and well-being. The Stoics recognize that while we cannot control the external world, we can cultivate serenity within ourselves. Calm is the ability to remain unshaken by the ups and downs of life. It is the practice of not letting external events disturb our inner peace. When we remain calm, we create space for clarity and rational thinking. We are able to respond to situations with wisdom rather than reacting out of fear or anger. But calmness doesn't mean passivity or indifference. It's not about ignoring the challenges or pretending that everything is fine. Rather, it's about maintaining a state of equanimity, a balanced mind that doesn't get swept up in the highs or lows. Calmness gives us the ability to approach problems with a clear head, without being consumed by stress or anxiety. One of the ways to cultivate calm is through mindfulness, being fully present in the moment, without getting caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past. When we focus on the present, we free ourselves from the mental noise that often causes unnecessary stress. Another way to foster calm is through the practice of letting go. We often hold on tightly to things that are beyond our control, whether it's a specific outcome, someone else's opinion, or the fear of failure. The Stoics remind us that true peace comes from releasing our attachment to things we cannot control. When we let go of the need to control everything, we create room for calm and acceptance. In moments of chaos, remind yourself to take a deep breath, pause, and reconnect with your inner calm. This calmness will not only help you navigate life's challenges, but will also bring a sense of harmony to your interactions with others. Adaptability, the wisdom of flexibility. Life is unpredictable. No matter how much we plan or prepare, there will always be unexpected twists and turns. The Stoics understood this well, and they emphasized the importance of adaptability, the ability to adjust to changing circumstances without losing our balance. Adaptability is the virtue of being flexible, of going with the flow rather than resisting it. It's about recognizing that life is in constant motion, and that clinging to rigid expectations only leads to frustration and disappointment. Those who are adaptable are like water. They flow around obstacles, find new paths, and keep moving forward no matter what. To be adaptable is to embrace change with an open heart. It's about understanding that while we cannot control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond. By remaining flexible, we allow ourselves to adjust to new situations and challenges with grace. We don't fight against the current of life. Instead, we learn to flow with it. Adaptability also means being open to growth. When we resist change, we close ourselves off to new opportunities and experiences. But when we embrace adaptability, we become more resilient and open to learning. We understand that change is a natural part of life, and rather than fearing it, we see it as a chance to evolve and improve. In difficult times, adaptability allows us to find creative solutions. Instead of being paralyzed by uncertainty, we remain resourceful and proactive. We look for new ways to approach problems, and we stay open to the possibilities that change can bring. The Stoics teach us that adaptability is not about being passive or going along with whatever happens. It's about being strategic in how we respond to change, using our wisdom to navigate life's shifts while staying true to our core values. Patience, the virtue of endurance. Of all the virtues, patience may be the most undervalued in our fast-paced world. In an age of instant gratification, waiting can feel unbearable. But the Stoics recognize that patience is essential for a life of endurance and long-term fulfillment. Patience is the ability to endure discomfort, delay, or hardship without losing composure. It is the understanding that some things take time, and that true growth, healing, and success often require persistence. In a world that demands quick results, patience allows us to remain committed to our goals, even when progress seems slow or setbacks occur. The Stoics teach us that patience is not just about waiting, it's about waiting well. It's about maintaining a positive attitude even when things aren't happening as quickly as we'd like. It's about trusting the process, knowing that good things take time, and that the journey is often more important than the destination. Patience also involves tolerance, the ability to accept difficulties without complaining or giving up. Whether we're dealing with a challenging situation, a difficult person, or an uncertain outcome, patience gives us the strength to persevere. It reminds us that life's greatest achievements often come after long periods of effort and perseverance. In practicing patience, we cultivate emotional resilience. We learn to manage our frustrations and impulses, and we develop the capacity to stay focused and calm, even when faced with delays or obstacles. Strength, calm, adaptability, and patience. These four pillars form the foundation of a wise and resilient life. They work together in harmony, supporting and reinforcing one another. When we cultivate these virtues, we create a life that is not only more peaceful, but also more fulfilling. Strength gives us the resilience to face challenges. Calm allows us to maintain our inner peace, no matter what life throws at us. Adaptability helps us navigate change with grace, and patience ensures that we stay the course, even when the road is long and difficult. As you reflect on these virtues, consider how you can integrate them into your daily life. How can you cultivate more strength in the face of adversity? How can you bring more calm into your interactions? How can you become more adaptable when life takes unexpected turns? And how can you practice patience in a world that demands instant results? By embracing these 4 pillars, you will not only build a more resilient life, but you will also find deeper meaning, peace, and joy. So as you continue your journey, remember the wisdom of the Stoics. Live with strength, maintain your calm, adapt with grace, and be patient with yourself and others. In doing so, you will live a life that is truly wise. As we bring this reflection to a close, it's time to step back and truly absorb the essence of what we've discussed. The Stoic way of living is not merely an ancient philosophy, but a practical guide to a meaningful and fulfilled life. It's a reminder that the core principles of Stoicism, strength, calm, adaptability, patience, and living with enough, are timeless virtues that transcend centuries. The lessons we've explored today are not just theoretical ideas, but tools we can use to navigate the complexities of modern life. They remind us that true happiness isn't found in external achievements, possessions, or fleeting moments of pleasure. Instead, it's found in how we respond to life's challenges, how we cultivate inner peace, and how we embrace the present moment. Living the Stoic way means understanding that life will never be free from struggle, but it's within our power to decide how we meet those struggles. When we embrace our strength, we learn that we are more resilient than we ever imagined. When we cultivate calm, we become an oasis of peace in a world filled with chaos. When we adapt to life's unpredictable nature, we find that we can thrive in any situation. And when we practice patience, we discover that the greatest rewards come to those who trust in the journey, not the destination. But perhaps the most profound Stoic teaching of all is the realization that we already have enough. We don't need to chase after the next thing, the next success, or the next validation. What we have right here, right now, is enough. Our life, our relationships, our experiences, these are the true treasures. As you move forward from this video, take these teachings with you. Remember that time is fleeting and that every moment is precious. Embrace the power of rest, knowing that it is not a sign of weakness, but an act of respect for the life you've been given. Keep your mind youthful, full of curiosity and joy, regardless of your age. Focus on what matters now, not in some distant future. Live with the mindset of enough, and let the 4 pillars of strength, calm, adaptability, and patience guide you through the complexities of life. Life is not a sprint, but a marathon. It is filled with moments of joy, sorrow, triumph, and defeat. But the Stoic way teaches us that in every experience, there is wisdom to be gained and peace to be found. So as you continue on your journey, let Stoicism be your compass, guiding you toward a life of meaning, purpose, and profound inner peace. Thank you for joining us on this reflection. May these timeless teachings inspire you to live fully, with intention, and with heart.